Extreme Anime Radio.
Welcome, everybody. We are here. We are back after another month of not doing podcasts to do another podcast. Welcome to Season 13, Episode 3, if I'm correct, of the XAR podcast. May 13th, 2026. Liz is here with the bacon and the crochet hearts, and I'm JR, and he's Neff Canuck. Hello, sir.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Oh boy, well, I've been nursing a little bit of a thrown out back, which randomly acted up while we were streaming last night for Lizzie's birthday. Happy birthday again, Liz. So now I've got my salon pass and my leave is waiting to work its wonders right now. Hello, Bree.
Sounds like fun. Ugh.
Yeah, exactly. And you, sir, are getting ready for some upcoming events.
Indeed. Don't mind the graphic behind me, folks. I did ask for this year's graphic, but so far crickets. But Anime North 2026 is barreling down on us, literally 8 days away now.
Yeah.
And so it is now crunch time for yours truly to get things organized, prepared, and order a few things that we'll be needing for the auction, and I'll be needing personally. And meanwhile, I'll be going, okay, just everything at work, calm down. At least let me out the door on Friday at 5 o'clock without leaving fires for my boss. So far, that is not looking like it's going to happen.
Well, we'll be talking about Anime North 2026 during tonight's program. We want to make sure that logo is just going to change to a 6, right?
At some point, yes. And there might actually be a little 30th anniversary marker because this year will mark 30 years of Anime North. I have attended every one of them except one because I was laid up in a rehab center at the time. And now I am in majority having been staff and or running events as opposed to just, random weeb running through the halls saying, look at all the cute stuff.
Well, we have a few things on the docket tonight besides Anime North. Once again, we want to remind everybody that the Extreme Anime Radio podcast is available on audio form. So if you're watching our wonderful faces right now and you like to listen to our quote-unquote wonderful voices, you can go to xarpodcast.net or look at Spotify podcasts or your favorite podcasting platform. And if you're listening to us, you want to see what's going on, because we are going to have a little visual something here towards the end of the show, if I remember. Go to YouTube, look up Extreme Anime Radio podcast on YouTube. If you were joining with us yesterday, you saw something that I surprised everybody with. That is what I will surprise you guys with towards the end of the show again, if I can remember it. Yes, I'm still nursing my bad back. So trying to pass the time and forgetting that I have a bad back, I decided to dive into Spotify a little bit more. Yes, I am now officially on the Spotify bandwagon after blank number of years of not being a member of Spotify. And it's all thanks to Liz pushing me to. I know, Neff, you've been trying to push me for the longest time, but really it was Liz who offered me, here, have 3 months.
Well, no, I was going to say, and I just got an email today. Guess what? Your Spotify is going up in price again. I'm like, But the problem is with Spotify's features as compared to the competition, I'm like, fine. Not happy, but fine.
Yeah. Well, I decided to put together playlists, and I cannot believe how many of our favorite anime and J-pop tunes on Extreme Anime Radio are listed on Spotify. I was just blown out of the water with, how many tracks they've made available from there.
I think they have expanded over the years much more than before. In fact, there are some older stuff that's now appearing that was not on there before, including like Cardcaptor Sakura. A lot of that music has suddenly shown up. Inuyasha, a lot of that's shown up. What else is just random shows that I really liked, and I was like, okay, I really wish I could listen to this, on Spotify on the road. And lo and behold, they've shown up, including, for example, the opening to Black Lagoon.
Ooh.
And if you remember what a banger that was, like literally, you crank it up, your sub will thump, your windows will thump, and people outside were going, are you trying to deafen yourself, or are you just, enjoying the music that much?
That's what happens when I added GDS from Darren Gray to the list.
Uh-huh.
Some of the rock music that Kay liked to enjoy back in the day. So this is where I'm going with this. If you follow us on Discord and Instagram, you might know this by now. But I thought to myself, what if I put together a playlist of songs I used to play on my radio show, The Side Project, back in the day? So, through all my archives, I've found that apparently a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, I had put on the internet the playlists for the first 7 years of The Side Project. So I've spent all afternoon curating some playlists. So now, as of us coming on the air today, I have 4 playlists of music, and this is taken from what I've written down of what I played on the show and what's available on Spotify. Obviously, not all the songs are going to be there. A lot of DDR songs, for example. We used to have, big in the DDR back in the day, kind of still are today in a way. But yeah, a lot of the DDR tracks are not on Spotify, or at least what I could see. There are a few of those sprinkled in there. But right now we have 4 playlists. So if you go to our Linktree right now, linktree.com/anime radio, or our Discord page, which is also on the Linktree if you're not a member of it, you will see links to the side project playlists on Spotify. And the one I did here, the last one I did before we came on the air, was the songs that played in the second half of the second season. So that is in 2006 from February to July, I believe. And I have a total of, 64 songs. So if you want to enjoy all those songs that we played, there are a few repeats across all the playlists right now because, we played certain songs a certain number of times. But other than that, yes, hopefully hours upon hours of enjoyment for you guys to enjoy what I thought was hot music back in the day.
Yes, well, funnily enough, there seems to be people creating these playlists on Spotify, and I found a couple of them, and I'm listening to these tunes, and I'm going, "Oh God, I remember that anime." Sometimes with great joy, I find this, and then I was just like, "Okay, I like the music, but the show was absolute."
That's what I guess that was my same mentality way back in the day when I was a young guy.
When your back didn't need a leave and salon pause, right?
Yeah, har har har, right. Let's see. Going through some of these songs that are on this list, and I'm just playing these songs on Spotify, and I'm like, well, take me back to those days when I was renting DVDs from Netflix and Green Scene and just watching stuff and waiting in anticipation till the next DVD would show up in the mail 3 days later, right?
I just checked my playlist, which is, I would say 80% anime, but 20% songs that I really like, which if somebody saw this playlist, they'd be listening to a bunch of anime, and all of a sudden this random song comes on and they're like, okay, what's with him? 242 songs.
Yeah.
But that means that, if I have to take a long drive, which I'll have to do next month twice, I will be able to listen to something that will keep me awake while, fighting through traffic and trying not to bite people's heads off.
But yeah, just random songs on this playlist. I Sincere Heart from XL Saga, the opening thing of XL Saga back in 1999. Last Exile, Cloud Age Symphony. Let's see, Pop Star from Ken Hirai. Remember that one? That came out like mid 2000s. Uchiwa Taihenda. That's Urusei Yatsura.
Ooh.
Roundtable, Let Me Be With You. That's the Showbits theme. Samurai Champloo Battle Cry. We have some Raws of Fun, including Garden of Everything with Maya Sakamoto and Steve Conte. I forget that Steve Conte also sung Rain from Cowboy Bebop, same voice. And let's see, Bomb Ahead. And then you have some random things, these random J-pop songs, random rap songs, To All the Dreamers from Sold Out. We have a track from Echo Stream, the band that I interviewed for the side project many years ago. We also have Yaz Band, which is a Japanese saxophone player who used to play inside subway stations when I was growing up, and now he's moved to Japan and he's having a pretty good career doing music releases over there.
Nice.
2 Mix, Just Communication. Megumi Hayashibara is prevalent on there. Chemistry, Tommy February 6, Mika Nakashima, Long Long Way, Rise and Inner Universe. So those are Ghost in the Shell songs. And let's see, Beat of the Rising Sun, which anime I forget it's from. It's by Dave Rogers, but oh man, I just literally added that a little while ago. Beat of the Rising Sun. What anime, Neff? I'm gonna have to look this up.
I'm trying to remember, because Dave Rogers, that's familiar. See, the problem is you have one advantage over me. You could actually read, Japanese, because I have to unfortunately rely on ones where either I know the song because I know the anime really well. Like for example, Legendary Days from Seku Yakuna Dono. That really bad one with the school president who's just wow. Then of course you have number 1, the vocal version from Bleach,
right,
which was done by Shiro Sagisu. Sagisu, I think. Okay. Let's see. Now I'm trying to see ones that you did not mention. Oh, Give a Reason. Oh, Ready Steady Go, of course.
That I think will be on later playlists.
Yes, and like I said, there's all sorts of fun stuff on my playlist where it's like, okay, some of it's what you have, some of it's like Change the World, of course. Both versions actually, the original and then the 2001 remaster.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Double checking.
No, I'm just yeah. And like I said, unfortunately, it's like, wait a minute, give me your,
Yeah.
Okay, let's see, Gamers, and then let's
now, Now, if you go to the first playlist, one of the songs that's there is Stan Bush, The Touch. Why?
Well, go ahead.
Well, I'll hear what you have to say, and then I'll say why it's there.
Well, I'll say it like this. Transformers, it's anime. It was animated in Japan. That's fine. I just hate the movie for what it did.
Yes. And remember, my boss at the time that this episode was released was a big Transformers fan, so that's why I had to add it there.
Well, as I like to say, I was a 14-year-old when I went into that theater. Mm-hmm. I came out a 40-year-old cursing a blue streak.
Well, yeah, so we can go on and on about this, but yes, reminiscing about this, Spotify playlist now available again if you go to those links on our Linktree or through our Discord. I will mention that there are a couple of Lupin the Third songs on a few of those playlists, and unfortunately we do have to bring that up, Neff, because we have a passing of composer Yuji Ono in Japan from earlier this month. It was announced just recently he passed away at the beginning of May at the age of 84, the main composer of the Lupin the Third songs, and I'm guessing this is news to you.
Yeah, if you aren't seeing this, folks, my face is just sort of like the jaw has sort of hit the floor, because Yuji Ono is one of those composers that literally almost anything he's written, I would listen to on repeat endlessly. Mm-hmm. You know, and his music really worked with Lupin through many decades, and it's just like, oh, I mean, I knew he was getting, you know, advancing in years, but I didn't realize until now that, oh dear. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it just apparently was sudden in his sleep. So, yes, Lupin the Third Part 2 was the first one he worked on, and then went on to do some other wonderful things. He's also done stuff for Captain Future, Andromeda Stories, Time Slip of 10,000 Years, and Space Adventure Cobra. So, of course, the Lupin the Third tracks, very iconic in their own right. So I think us, with what we used to do with anime and J-pop and what we're talking about now, I think it's very important to bring that up.
Well, yes, thank you for, you know, hitting me upside the head with that fastball tonight.
Yeah. But yeah, before we talk about Anime North, Neff, let's talk a little bit about your good old postseason. I was telling him that one of my former coworkers now works in sports in Buffalo and has been giving updates about everything that's happening with the Sabres and the Habs and the playoffs. And right now, that series has turned into a best of 3, resuming tomorrow.
Yeah, because the Sabres remembered last night, it's not a good idea to play like you're a 1970s expansion team trying to murder your opponents. See, that was their big problem in Game 3. They just decided anything dressed in red, white, and blue, they were going to destroy.
Yeah.
Which, considering they're an American team, seems really weird, but there you go.
But now we have tonight, you said the Avalanche is playing today?
Avalanche and Minnesota. If Minnesota does not win tonight, Colorado gets to sit on their duff watching Vegas and the Ducks beat each other up.
Right. And then we have back in your neck of the woods, the Maple Leafs, who I guess are just sitting around doing nothing except firing managers.
Yeah, it's like, okay, they decided that, okay, we're going to like nuke the management team and start fresh. Now, whether that does anything or not, I'm not sure. But when your newly hired GM, a vintage of maybe 2 weeks, decides that, okay, the head coach for the last 2 years, hit the bricks. And we literally find this out at 9 this morning as I'm on my way to work going, okay, that was sudden. I'd say sudden because although the Screaming Mobs wanted the coach gone, Craig Berube, I was saying, okay, none of the Screaming Mobs online. They can't be, you know, the ones that drive this bus.
Mm.
Well, maybe they don't drive the bus, but they certainly got their wish.
All right.
And I pointed out to somebody, I'm like, GMs normally get 1 to 2 coaches before they themselves find themselves on the firing line. And I'm going, why would you use that bullet right now? I would at least have given him a chance with the team I assembled or tweaked to see if he could actually get the team to do anything. But I guess they decided the numbers were the numbers, including the analytics. And again, analytics have their place, but with hockey, it's a little bit different because there's still a bunch of how does it feel? How does it look?
Yeah.
You know? So we'll see. Now, the big test is who are the Leafs going to go after? And that tells another story because apparently one of the fired coaches this season, Bruce Cassidy, ex of the Golden Knights, has been approached by LA and Vegas gave them permission. However, there was another team that asked for permission to speak to that fired coach. Would you like to know who it was?
Who?
The Edmonton Oilers.
Oh.
Except they haven't fired their coach yet. So they literally went and said to Vegas, hey, can we talk to this coach? And Vegas told them apparently kick rocks. Yet they still have their coach. So I'm going, you have just literally, plastered lame duck right across Chris Knobloch's chest and his backside.
About to say, coach, not for long.
Yeah, I was going to say, I fully expect by tomorrow morning, Mr. Knobloch will say, if you really don't want me that badly, pay me and I'll go away.
Yeah. Meanwhile, what is it? Speaking of Vegas, player safety doing what player safety does, and they have suspended McNabb for interference against polling the other day.
Well, I saw that and I'm like, yeah, that no, don't. Oh.
And those apply to the postseason as well, right? And
you see, the problem is this is what I don't like, because if they suspend during the postseason, what they do is they say, well, 1 postseason game is worth 2 in the regular season. So if we suspend you only 2 games in the postseason, it would be the equivalent of 4 in the regular season. I call poppycock that. No, if you wanted to suspend them 4 games, suspend them 4 games. I don't care if it's the playoffs. If you're trying to send a message not to do stupid stuff and injure other players, this is the only way they're going to learn. And that includes the teams, because the teams will tell their players, don't do stupid stuff. We don't want you suspended for the remainder of the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, in fact, they just announced as well, a Boston player who had done something to a Buffalo player, I cannot remember what it was offhand, he got suspended. Of course, they're out of the playoffs, but his suspension will start at the beginning of the regular season next year, 6 games.
Ooh.
So in theory, with this crazy formula the NHL works with, that would have only been 3 games if the Bruins had somehow beaten the Sabres and were into this round.
Interesting. All right. Well, I guess more stuff is on the line with all the playoffs going on. And then again, we have our favorite teenager in the Islanders who just won the Calder Trophy.
Well, to be honest, given his competition, I'm not surprised. Now, I think Demidov of the Habs was one of the others that was being considered, and I would have, but Schaefer just decided, he just decided to just go off. I mean, what are you going to do, right?
Yeah.
It's like that kid, assuming he doesn't have a sophomore slump, is going to become a cornerstone of the franchise. Now, the question is, will they be able to keep him? Because we've seen the Islanders, unfortunately, have this habit of cultivating talent, and then when the talent gets the first chance to go out of town, out they go. See John Tavares and the indemnity that he has garnered with the fan base in New York.
Oh, I know that very well from people I work with.
Yeah, I remember we were down at that game, and every time he touched the puck in New York, it was like, they're going to murder this guy. They're going to actually murder this guy.
Let's go back to Buffalo and another sport. How do you feel about your old Bill Stadium getting the wrecking ball now?
You know what? Rich Stadium, the Ralph, Highmark, the first, it had a good run.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's time to move on. The new playpen is pretty much ready. In fact, they installed the signage now in the front so you can see it says Highmark Stadium and has a giant glowing Buffalo Bill right there. I did happen to just take a sneak peek at the schedule for the NFL. Week 2 is the home opener against Detroit.
Yeah.
And I just happened to, just out of sheer morbid curiosity, because there was no way I was going to pay these prices, see what they wanted for accessible seating. Over $1,000 for the cheapest seat via Ticketmaster. And that's US.
That's accessible seating?
That's accessible seating. If I wanted the best accessible seating available, $2,500 US.
Do you get an escort to your seat for that money, or?
For that money, I should get an escort. And I'll leave the rest of the joke to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that rest of that schedule is pending. I think it's tomorrow, right? Everything comes out.
Yeah, I think they delayed it a couple of days, so they've just been dribbling and drabbing a few things. What we found out is that more games are now going on to streaming, which of course people are complaining about. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, the only way that they're going to make money on these deals is if they, squeeze you for every drop they can get.
Yeah, I'll be going back probably, unless things change. I'm probably going back to watching the Sunday night games on my regular Fios box because of I'm giving up Peacock finally. I've been lucky to pay $20 a year for the last 2 years, and now, of course, they want to charge me the full price. I said no. They want to try to keep me for $59 for the year. I still said no.
Yeah, I'm actually in one of those. I'm actually at that point now with a couple of streaming services, because there are two main streaming services in Canada for sports now. Mm-hmm. One for football, DAZN, the other Fubo TV for the Premier League. However, what each of them has done is license the other's content. Mm. The problem is, why am I paying for two separate services? Why don't I just pay for one? So in viewing what each offers, I'm going, Fubo TV offers me a PVR that lets me save the stuff indefinitely, mm-hmm. right? And lets me do 4 windows at a time. Now, DAZN also allows 4 windows at a time, but again, has no PVR. So, you can't, for example, with Fubo, they have a couple of local channels where I can, for example, PVR Knight Rider episodes. Mm. And how old is that show now?
Yeah, exactly.
and it's like, okay, and yet I can then look at other things too while I'm doing this. So I'm going, okay, so my best bet then is to cancel DAZN and then upgrade my Fubo TV subscription. Although I noticed that the Fubo TV subscription, if I go for their all sports package, no longer gives you an annual number. They only do monthly. So all the easier to, turn up the heat and boil the frog, so to speak.
Ooh, with my Walmart Plus, I can choose to have Peacock or Paramount. Oh, yes. I do have a Paramount subscription with Walmart Plus. I think I have it set to Paramount right now. So, yeah, that is a tough call.
Well, I'm trying to remember Paramount's sports content in the States, what they have. I know they have Champions League.
Right.
And what else do they? I don't know. Do they have no, they lost. No, wait a minute. They got UFC, didn't they? If you're into that.
I think so. I was
Yeah.
into that.
Well, as I like to say, I watched a couple of matches, and I'm like, this is just legalized beating people up. Like,
Yeah. No better way to celebrate our 250th anniversary, but I'm not going to go further down that path.
well, like I
Yeah.
said, I mean, I've seen a few manufacturers try to get in on that, and I'm like going, okay, fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I barely remember the 1976 stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it was pretty gaudy. But if they had known what they knew 50 years later, I think they would have, made it even more gaudy than it was back in the day.
Let me go real quick to our special surprise here. We showed this on the stream yesterday. This is our Umemi artwork by Brenny for the FIFA World Cup, which is starting next month. So this is a stream exclusive. We will be releasing it at the beginning of June, along with the wallpaper when the World Cup when the World Cup is about to start. So always a pleasure to work with Brenny and her 1980s, 1990s anime aesthetic style. Very popular with so many followers on social media, enjoying what she does. She's also worked with us in a couple of videos because she does video animations now as well. So Neff, are you hyped up for the World Cup at all?
Yeah, there are a few matches I want to watch. One where I'm literally going to be torn in half.
Mm-hmm.
That would be Wednesday, June 24th, Canada, Switzerland, out in Vancouver.
Mm.
I had briefly entertained maybe, getting a ticket out there, but I saw what they wanted for tickets, and then,
Yeah.
it would have been close to 5 figures. No, I'm not spending 5 figures on one sporting event.
Right.
Now, if it was a Leafs Stanley Cup game, maybe I would be crazy enough, but anything else, no.
We do like to talk about sports. We like to talk about anime in Japan. And of course, at this time of the year, Neff, something you like to talk about is what you're doing later this month and the annual event that raises thousands of dollars for sick kids. So please tell us about the charity auction for 2026.
Yes, the Anime North charity auction once again is upon us. We will be on Sunday afternoon in the Cohen Ballroom at the Toronto Congress Center. So if you're coming down to Anime North, come on by. We will have a preview display at Hall A of the Toronto Congress Center. And new this year, if you're coming to the Nomonoichi, which is a basically swap meet / flea market type deal on Friday night, we will have a selection of some merchandise available for sale. So we're putting that together now as we speak. We have some stuff already got obtained. We will have more stuff that will be coming as it comes in early Friday, and we'll put it out with that. But the main stuff, the good stuff, I shouldn't say good stuff, the, shall we say, highly desirable stuff will be Sunday afternoon at the charity auction, including some stuff that I just received today from a agent for some voice actors. She was kind enough to get me a bunch of signed merchandise or memorabilia. So that stuff will be going up on auction. We have some stuff from Dan to Dan, a signed poster from the voice actress in English for Momo. So that should be getting us some good coin, I hope. And a number of other things, including some stuff from Kill la Kill and a few other pieces I don't remember right off the top of my head. Now, we do have some fun stuff, including the stuff that JR and Bree were generous enough to donate. But we have a very interesting piece. Another one of our local people who donate found a plushie from the anime Freyrin. It is of the title character Freyrin. And unfortunately, she is in her usual position. Now, what do I mean by that? If you've seen the anime Freyrin, you know what happens when she gets near a treasure chest. She tries to open it. You also know that a lot of those chests turned out to be mimics. So we have a little plushie of a chest with Freyren's legs pointing out of the chest in the help me, I'm trapped position. So I'm hoping that raises a lot of money. I have so many jokes I plan to use, at least hopefully a few of them will be used during, the thing. Now, we do have some professional auctioneers coming to help us, and I will be doing a couple pieces here and there. I hope you come down on Sunday if you're at the convention center. Leonard Cohen Ballroom, 12 to 4 p.m. Bring your plastic because it is a cashless auction. Now, the Nomonoichi will be cash only. Nomonoichi will be cash only. I will say that. So you can come by with your money there. But the actual auction itself, we have decided that because of the speed of the auction, we want to make sure everybody gets a chance. We give it the ability to have put on plastic, and then you won't realize how much you've spent until you get home. You look at your statement the next month and go, zoinks, Scoob. So remember, when you come down, when you're bidding, this auction is for the Toronto Hospital for Sick Children, Canada's premier children's hospital, for programs for patients and their guardians, for things like physical therapy, care in home. And again, it is a worthy cause. I am a former 6 Kids kid myself. And so this is near and dear to my heart. As I can see my heart, kind of pounding here. So I'd really like you guys to come down. We'd really like to raise a lot of money because we'd really like to make a lot of kids happy. And I'd like to thank JR for once again letting me do my spiel. He's let me do it now for a number of years, and I do appreciate that because I know you're out there listening, and I know some of you have come down. And again, we're all welcome. And please come by. We'll have some laughs, and we'll raise some money for a good cause.
And I expect Neff to sell all of the items so that we can do what was typically and traditionally given to an auctioneer when he sells everything. What is that, Neff?
I don't know.
What is that? In the traditional circles, if you will, if you're an auctioneer and you sell everything that night, you traditionally get a pair of white gloves.
Ah, I shall have to see if I can procure some.
Yes. And meanwhile, Caldeth is saying, well, it might not happen this year, but speaking of plushies, Makeship is offering plushies of Ed Allen Winry from Full Metal Alchemist.
Yes. The funny part is we get stuff from different shows, and sometimes it goes really fun, like really high. Other times, not so much. It's really weird because I remember there was an auction years ago. We had what we thought was going to be items that go for a lot of money. And it just, there just wasn't the interest. And I'm going, huh. I mean, it's always tough to guess because you can try to guess by the cosplayers who are wandering around the halls. I mean, I fully expect a lot of Dan to Dan cosplayers this year. What else might I see? I'm just trying to think here. Let's see. Well, we have. Let's see. What would you say? Like, I know Spy X Family was big last year. We saw a number of Anya's, a number of yours, some of which were the domestic version. Others were the Rose Thorn version, i.e., the stiletto heels, the black dress, and the sharp, spiky, pointy things that, don't play with those, you'll get hurt. Fake though they were.
Right. Maybe some old fashion in the Prism anime that's on Netflix right now. Witch Hat Atelier, I think, is also big now, isn't it?
Okay, that's possible too. Yeah. I'm just trying to think. Of course, you'll have the standbys, the Sailor Moon cosplayers.
Yeah.
Although they seem to have reduced in number to mostly Sailor Moon and maybe, Mamo-chan, in his full tuxedo common get up.
Umamusume, of course.
Yes. I did see a few of those last year. I'm curious to see if any gold ships show up.
Yeah. Remember
because you have to be a certain size to pull that off.
Yeah. It says, what's the name? Because the global game just came out a few weeks after last year's Anime North, because we're coming up on the 1 year anniversary. So Leveling is another one. Maybe Jujutsu Kaisen. Maybe Oshinoko. Stuff like that.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Oshinoko. Now, I'm just trying to think. And then there are the obscure anime where people put in the effort, and I'm really, like I remember I believe it was last year, somebody did Iruma from Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun. And I'm like, I recognize them, and I'm like, can I get a picture? And they're like, you recognize them? I'm like, yeah. Because that's one of those fun shows where it's just like, okay, complete insanity. I mean, they're up to 4 seasons now, and it's just like, yeah, I know why.
Oh, trying to think. Well, we're partisan. We wish Sarah and Yumemi were at a con, but
Yeah, well, we got to arrange that somehow.
Yeah.
Oh, Freyren, of course. I do remember there were a couple of Freyren cosplayers last year. I expect more.
Mm-hmm.
The question will be, will it be more Freyren or Farron?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see any Shark. I don't think we'll see. Actually, we might see 1 or 2 because of the sword, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, that's the thing. Some of the characters, it's more about the accessories that make them stand out. So if you see a Stark, you're going to see this big sword, and you're going, okay, yeah, we don't want to mess with that person.
No. But yeah, I think we hit some of the major ones there.
Yes, well, like I said, I'll give you a report once we're done, and hopefully like I said, we have a lot of fun doing it. I mean, there's a lot of prep work right now. There is prep work that I'm doing behind the scenes. I'll be finishing that. Once I'm finished work tomorrow, no, not tomorrow, Friday, then I go into con mode, which is like, okay, I got to do all this stuff. I mean, some of the stuff I've had to automate over the years, so that at least I can keep up. And it's like, okay, so just get all of it done, and then just plop, and there you go.
Right. So yes, Anime North coming up in about a week's time, pretty much a week and a half from now, and in the usual spot in Toronto, right?
Yep. Toronto Congress Center is where we'll be. There'll be events at the I think it's the Delta. I can never remember. They keep changing the one hotel's name
Delta Hotel
every few years. Yeah, every few years I think it's a joke, honestly, where they just say, okay, we're going to flip the name to another hotel to completely confuse people who've come here for years, and all of a sudden it's a different hotel. What?
Yeah.
And there's one thing that I'll also point out is that around the hotel, you will find it gets crowded to the point where you are trying to get through crowds, and it's just like lots of patience, lots of time. And thankfully, I have a motorized cart with a battery pack that I can just charge up and let this silly thing, drag itself around as opposed to me trying to drag it.
Right. But we hope you have a successful con, and hope things work out very well. And most importantly, we hope that the charity auction does well, as it always does year after year.
Thank you. We're going to be putting our hearts and soul into this, which, speaking of soul, reminds me I have to break in new shoes before con. Because if I try to go with the ones I'm wearing right now to work, ick.
Yeah. Break in time again. But yes, we hope you will join in all the festivities if you're going to be around the Toronto area that weekend. And like Neff said, we will come back. We're probably going to do at least one more stream, one more podcast, if you will, before the end of June. The next few weeks are going to be very hectic with me doing a lot of work trips, and there might be another trip in the middle of that as well. So I'll be in and out, but I will bring the laptop up to my summer apartment as usual. So we'll try to do as many streams as we can, given the hit and miss internet that has plagued that apartment.
Well, it's funny you should mention that, because I know the second week in June, I'm supposed to be going away for work. Also, I should have internet where I am. Now, the funny part will be is if I'm forced to bunk with somebody, that's where things might get fun. Government spending, government cutbacks.
Jeez. But as per usual, we will keep you posted with everything on our Discord. And that will take us to the closing commentary, Neff.
If you have any questions, concerns, compliments, or complaints about this stream or any of our Twitch streams, drop us a line. At linktree.com/anime radio, you'll find our social media contacts through our Facebook page, our Blue Sky account, our YouTube channel, our Facebook channel. As well, we have extremeanimeradio@gmail.com for those of you who still write us emails. And we also have our Mascots Instagram account at XAR Mascots, as well as our account at Extreme Anime Radio. Archives of this podcast are available at xarpodcast.net or your favorite podcasting platform.
And once again, new Spotify playlists are available for you guys to check out. If you go to linktree.com/anime radio, they are now at the very top of, well, not the very top, but the top of the whole list of links that you see. And you'll be able to scroll through what you see there. You can tap on each playlist to see what's on it. And then, you can play them however you want. I added them more or less in the order that they aired when we did episode by episode, and obviously no repeats in there. But as we go down the playlist and we see songs, they're already on the list because we played them earlier, but then we run into these other songs. So hopefully you'll have hours upon hours of anime music to your heart's content for you guys to enjoy. And if I have time in the coming days or weeks, I will certainly try to put more playlists together for you guys. Well, that will wrap it up for this podcast. The next podcast, as we mentioned, probably will happen sometime after Anime North is finished. Neff will give us a full recap of the charity auction and everything going on at the convention in general, in the Delta or the Marriott or the Holiday Inn or wherever that hotel is.
As I say, if you want to find out what the hotel is, come on down. Then you'll know.
Well, folks, we will see you next time on the podcast. If you're watching us live, we'll be setting up for another game here in just a moment. In the meantime, for Neff, I'm JR. Thank you for tuning in. Please go to Anime North. Please go to the charity auction. Support sick kids. And remember,
keep on looking out for the Extreme Radio Twitch streams. And don't forget, archives of this podcast are available at xarpodcast.net. That's xarpodcast.net or your favorite podcasting platform. Good night, everybody, and hope to see some of you at Anime North.
Thanks, everybody. Good night. As Collet said, you got the touch.
I'm touched.
We are Extreme Anime Radio. The Nero Band Station.
Extreme Anime Radio.